Hello everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and go through each problem on the study guide. The formulas that you use, the formulas that you're going to use to solve, and then also I'm going to point out the correct units so that when you take the test, you're ready and you can get a good grade. So the first one says find the area of the rectangle, use correct units. So if we look at our SAT formula sheet, we know that to find the area of a rectangle, we're going to use area equals length times width. So if we look here, we could say our length is 7 and our width is 5. Now these are interchangeable. If you say length is 5 and width is 7, perfectly fine, you will still get the same answer. So we get area is 7 times 5, which gives us 35. Now the units on this should be inches squared. Area is always squared. And the reason for that is we're doing 7 inches times 5 inches. And we multiply the 7 and the 5 and get the 35. And since we have inches twice, we get it squared. So our answer here should be 35 inches squared. The next one, it says find the area of the triangle, use correct units. So if we look here, the SAT formula sheet also has area of a triangle. So we're going to use area equals 1/2 base times height. So if we look here, our base is 3 and our height is 6. So we could go ahead and plug this into our formula. We get area equals 1/2 times our base, which is 3, times our height, which is 6, which is going to give us 9. And again, the units on this should be inches squared. It's area, right? And we had 3 inches and 6 inches. We had inches twice. So our answer should be 9 inches squared. Now for the next one, it says, what is the coordinate of the fourth corner of the rectangle below? So if you recall, rectangles, a few properties of them, the opposite sides need to be parallel. They need to be the same length. And then we know that all corners of a rectangle form 90-degree angles. So if I look here, this actually should be a fairly easy question. If I'm trying to finish up this rectangle here, it's got to align properly, right? So that dot right there is going to be my fourth corner. So the coordinates of that is 1, 7. So that should be your answer written like this. 1, 7. It's a coordinate pair. It's always x, y. Now for the next one, it says the shape below is a rectangle. Solve for x. So again, one of the properties of a rectangle is that the opposite sides are congruent. And since the opposite sides are congruent, we can go ahead and set opposite sides equal to each other. Now, if we look here, this 6, we don't have any information on this other side. I mean, we know that that must also be a 6, but that's not going to help us solve for x. However, we do have information on both of these sides. And since these are opposite sides of a rectangle, we can set them equal to each other. So we do 55 minus 9x equals x plus 5. And in order to solve this, this is just a linear equation. I'm going to get all my x's on one side and then all my constants on the other. So the first thing I'm going to do is add 9x. So I get 55 equals 10x plus 5. I'm going to move my constant over, so minus 5 minus 5. So I get 50 equals 10x. Divide by 10. Divide by 10. End up with x equals 5. Now for number 5, it says name the 3D shape below. So if I look here, this is clearly a pyramid, right? Now, I had to figure out what kind of pyramid this is, and in order to figure out what kind of pyramid it is, I'm going to look at the base. This right here is clearly a triangle, so this is a triangular pyramid.